My name is Estrada. My educational journey started at College of the Sequoias in Visalia. Then I transferred here to UC Davis to get my bachelor's degree in biological science with an emphasis in medical microbiology. I then pursued my master's degree at Virginia Tech. My master's degree is in food science, and then came back 4 years ago to UC Davis again to pursue my doctoral degree in food science.
My name is Francisco Dorado. I attended Diablo Valley College and then transferred to UC Davis, majored in biological sciences. I attended medical school at Michigan State University College of Human Medicine, and I returned and completed my family medicine residency at a University of California affiliated residency.
I am the kind of person who really enjoys every subject, so it was very difficult for me to actually commit to a degree. I wanted something that would give me the opportunity to discover other things, not only nutrition. So I think biology was a very broad field.
STEM, I had an affinity for it, but it wasn't something that came really easy. I had to work at it. The length of time it took me to complete my degree, and the coursework was rigorous. I often worked, put myself through college, and so I planned those throughout my courses and tried to balance the two.
I think some of the challenges that I encounter once I did the transition to become a STEM major is that there aren't a lot of people that look like me in the classroom. I really like math and something that had a right or wrong answer. That's why I picked STEM major. The other challenges that I faced was the lack of mentorship because there were not a lot of people who looked like me in positions of power. So even teaching, I had to really go out of my way to meet mentors who could understand the fact that I'm a first generation, a Mexican woman who immigrated to this country. Me not being able to fully speak English, it was easier to understand numbers. Something that I didn't realize going into science, how much writing and science communication you have to do, not only the writing, but being able to be eloquent. It just empowers me because if I only know that and I don't write it down, then no one else is going to be able to read it.
I worked out in the fields when I was really little, and I did not like working out in the fields when I was 5 and 6 years old. And I thought that was my destiny. That's what I had to do. When I started kindergarten, I said, I want to do what you do. And I want to be a teacher. So initially I wanted to be a biological sciences teacher. That's when I started school, because I did not want to go work out in the fields. I did that for summers, and during certain times, my whole family did. I didn't want to work that hard. So I chose this path instead.
The reason I decided to pursue graduate school is because I found the food science field very late in my career. I thought I was going to go to medical school, but then I did an internship at the Cincinnati Children's Hospital in Ohio, and I was shadowing a doctor. I realized that I didn't want to do that. I was trying to figure out what fields I could go with a biology degree. I was really looking for something that I could explain to my family that I could have an impact in my community. So I found the field of food science. I love this so much. That's why I decided to do my master's. Once I finished my master's, I liked this so much. I like research. I actually applied to become a community college professor at my community college. So in partly, I decided to pursue my PhD because I want to inspire my future students to go as far as they can, whether it's science, whether it's art school, whatever. I just want to show them and lead by example.
Depending on your specialty, there's 3 to 7 years additionally after graduating from medical school. It's a long process. It's something you want to be sure about. And it's also something that's relatively expensive. It cost me about $5,000 just to apply. I ended up taking time off between graduation from undergrad, saving up some money, working, and I got a scholarship for my coursework partially, and then applied. I was fortunate to get a full ride at UC Davis as a scholarship. Then I applied to a scholarship that paid for my entire medical school. It's called the National Health Service Corps Scholar Program. They also have the National Health Service Corps Loan Repayment Program.
I got different fellowships to pay for my master's, so I had a full ride. The financial package at Virginia Tech was complete. I even got an extra fellowship to go and study abroad. So I went to Chile for a summer. I was very lucky and worked a lot as an undergrad to have the grades, the professional development, and the research to be competitive for those fellowships. I was always the kind of person who, if my counselor from Mesa or Puente sent me a scholarship, I would apply. I just graduated with my doctoral degree and I have zero debt. I actually made money out of going to school. Just apply to everything that your counselor sent, because you never know. You might put 2 hours into your application, but then they give you $1,000, so you're getting paid $500 an hour, so that's super cool. The tips that I would do for students who are into the biology of the sciences, all those hardcore science classes, they're very hard, but that's not going to define where you end up. I did get a C at my calculus course here at UC Davis, and I cried almost every day when I was doing my homework because I wouldn't understand, but I went to office hours every day. That's probably the grade that I am the proudest of, the C+, yeah. If you are interested in research or at least have interest in any field, specifically in STEM, I'll say first, find mentors. Find people who are already in the positions that you want to be. Do internships.
I would say it's considered a difficult major just because of the math, chemistry, sciences, biochemistry. It's all included as part of that major. I enjoy learning from others besides the teacher. It would be in small groups, usually 3 or 4 of us, and we would meet up almost daily in the library or a quiet place and go over our coursework to help each other. That's how medical school is also taught. We have small group studies, and that's how medicine's practiced. It's also supportive because you get tired, there's certain things you don't understand, and other people also learn from you. You maybe picked up on something. We call them consultations. So you call another doctor when you don't know something. It's practice of what the real world is going to be like.
I believe it's called Pathways to Science, that has thousands of research experience for undergrads. That's how I got my first internship at the Jackson Laboratory in the state of Maine. And that opened up my eyes to the possibilities. We scientists, we're just regular people who hustle and work our butt off and have mentors who have taken us to where we are today. I'm finishing up my PhD, so in the past 6 months, I've been just writing my dissertation. My work is understanding how Salmonella behaves and the prevalence of Salmonella on pistachios. I'll be the Assistant Lab Director at our Carroll County Public Health Laboratory. The Public Health Lab receives specimens or samples from different patients. And what our lab will be doing, it will analyze and actually figure out whether or not those tests are positive, not only for valley fever, but for rabies and AIDS, other diseases. And try to track the frequency of those diseases, just for example, to figure out if there's an epidemic, if we can do something to prevent, or how we can diagnose a disease faster.
I currently work as a family medicine physician at the Napa Solano Family Medicine Residency at Kaiser Permanente. I serve as Assistant Chief of our department and Medical Director of our mobile clinic. I'm a teacher of family medicine, so I'm a faculty member. I lecture, precept teach in the clinic residents that are in our training program. The second part is I'm a clinician. I take care of 1,500 patients on my panel. I'm responsible for their entire care. The third part is I'm an administrator, so I make sure that our clinics are running smoothly. We have proper scheduling, staffing, support, and patients' needs are taken care of. So family medicine is a specialty that focuses on the family nucleus, the health of a patient based on their families. From newborns, pregnancies, I used to do C-sections, hypertension, diabetes. Mostly I take care of chronic disease.
Puente was how I got so empowered and believe in myself. There were 2 things that I think that I took a lot of value from. The first one was the Puente Leadership Conference at UCR. During those 10 days, one, I met my idol, Sal Castro, who play a pivotal role in the walkouts. The second part is that the activities, the workshops, and just the sense of community, I found that I'm an agent of power. I could make a change in my community by pursuing education and by speaking up about these issues.
I saw a posting for a job at a pharmacy because I wanted to get into the medical field. I was a pharmacy tech. I worked in a pharmacy, and that was kind of my foot in the door into medicine because I didn't know Latino physicians. I didn't meet one until I was working at a clinic. When I transferred to UC Davis, I worked at the student-run health clinic, and that was kind of like what solidified what I wanted to do, was a family medicine. Residents and professors would come in and supervise the work that we were doing. It was a free clinic for Spanish-speaking patients. It was very natural for me to see myself in them, and that's when I knew I could do it, because I could see myself doing what they were doing.
I also founded the MANO program, which stands for Mentoring, Advising, Networking Opportunities. And I am the founder and CEO. This program provides resources to community college students to pursue higher education. I think that with hard work, dedication, and mentoring, and a support system, I think you can become anything you want.
I've been a mentor since 1998 for Puente. I always have one or two students who are interested in the healthcare field, so I've been mentoring. The reason I work in a family medicine residency is because I'm also trying to train the next generation, bring in more people, provide support, and recruit and mentor, and not only in Puente, but in a general sense. And then having like the wife who's also interested in doing the same things. We have people over all the time, at home, at work, it crosses over. And so that's been really my drive.